Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. The second largest city in Alberta and the fifth largest city in Canada. Also one of only 3 non-Russian cities north of 53.5 degrees latitude with over 1 million people, accompanied by Hamburg, Germany, and Minsk, Belarus. The reason I will be talking about Edmonton and not the other 2 cities is it is the only city that fits these standards on the North American continent. North America has much colder winters than Europe because of the jet stream. This is why London has 12 million people and Winnipeg only has 1, despite them being at the same latitude. So a few things I will be talking about are the history of the city, how it ended up where it did today, and some of its main industries back then and now. The first inhabitants of the Edmonton area supposedly arrived around 12,000 BC, or about when the continental ice sheet started receding. Because of this, timber, water, and wildlife for hunting became available. However, the first European arrived around 1754. Anthony Henday worked for the Hudson Bay Company and was seeking natives to contribute to the fur trade. A fort was established in 1795 which acted as a trading post for the Hudson Bay Company. It was named Fort Edmonton for Edmonton in London. Later on, the Canadian Pacific Railway arrived in 1885, and the Calgary-Edmonton Railway, or the C&E Railway, in 1891 also brought settlers and entrepreneurs from other parts of Canada and the United States to trade. The fertile soil surrounding Fort Edmonton also helped its agriculture industry, which is still strong today. Despite the trade in agriculture, Edmonton's population remained under 10,000 until the year 1905 with the arrival of the Canadian Northern Railway, accelerating growth. In 1912, Edmonton united with the city of Strathcona, which extended the city limits south of the North Saskatchewan River and increased the population of the city. Just before World War I, the population of Edmonton declined by 25%, with many families moving to subsistence farms outside the city. The population would rebound during World War II. In 1929, the Edmonton City Centre Airport opened as the first licensed airfield in all of Canada. Originally named Blatchner Field for former Mayor Kenny Blatchner, its main use was to get medicine, food, and supplies to northern parts of Canada. The airport closed in 2013. Industries. Some of Edmonton's most notable industries throughout its history have been fur, agriculture, oil, finance, and retail. Edmonton was originally settled for the fur trade. Agriculture came later in the 19th century, mainly sparked by the large amount of flat, arable land around Edmonton. Later in the 20th century, oil was the main industry for Edmonton. Edmonton is often named the oil capital of Canada. The interest for oil came in the 20th century when cars were commonplace. During the 70s and 80s, Edmonton became a major financial center. Both of Canada's major banks were headquartered there. Due to shifting of the economy in the late 80s, however, both banks left Edmonton for other cities. However, in the 90s, one of Canada's main banks, Canadian Western Bank, made its headquarters in Edmonton and has been there since. Currently, retail is the largest industry in Edmonton. Edmonton currently has over 10 malls within its city limits, including the West Edmonton Mall, the largest mall in North America. Some of its other malls include the Abbotsfield Mall, Londonderry Mall, and the Millwoods Town Centre. So those industries are some of the reasons why Edmonton is so big today. If Edmonton was surrounded by mountains, it likely wouldn't exist due to lack of arable land. If it wasn't rich in oil, it likely wouldn't exist either because oil is one of the largest industries in Edmonton still today. And I would like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you learned something, and I'll see you all in a week.